What's up, it's Johnny King, and I gotta tell you, one of the things that I see that's most common in everyone that struggles with their health or with, growing their business or improving their relationships, the patterns are all the same. And the challenge is that they are misdiagnosing the problem. And so they're looking at the symptom, for instance, helping someone to get, in better shape is to focus only on dieting, right? Because they're overweight, but they're overweight as a symptom to something that's always deeper. And that's sometimes harder to diagnose. And so I've been reading a book by an amazing man, Keith Cunningham. I've sat in several of his workshops. He lives down in Austin, Texas. If you've ever read the Rich Dad, Poor Dad books, the series from a while back, he is the rich dad. So Robert Kiyosaki learned a lot of what he writes in his books from Keith Cunningham. And he's such an amazing man. And so while I was traveling the world with some of my family members for a month in December in 2018, we read a book together called The Road Less Stupid by Keith Cunningham. And so what I want to share with you is some notes I took on my iPad while I was reading it that are so great. So whether we're talking about business, which he often is in this book, but if your biggest challenge right now is your health, rather than us talking about business, just interchange business with your health. And the same principles can be applied to this. So in this little section here, in his second chapter, it's entitled Separate the Problem from the Solution. He says, what are your top 3 challenges in business? And I ask you the same, what are your top 3 or your top 1 challenge in your health or in your relationship? But as it relates to business, he said, not enough sales, not enough customers, not enough people know about me, not enough cash, not enough profits, can't find qualified enough employees, can't keep good staff, can't find A-player candidates. The list can get pretty long, right? You can't find the right program, you can't find the right trainer, all those things. You have so many different ideas. He says the gap is not the problem, it's the symptom. So the core problem is never what we think it is. He writes, the obstacle that's standing in your way between where you are, point A, and where you ought to be, point B. That is the gap, right? There are 2 fundamental difficulties with a misdiagnosis of the root problem, or mislabeling the symptom as the obstacle, right? The symptom being, oh, I'm overweight, I'm really out of shape, I have no energy. That's the problem, right? He says the questions you ask and the solutions you find are usually tactical. Now, he talks about tactics versus strategy, okay? Tactics are often kind of a masculine approach to how something gets done, which is like, oh, how can I get this done? I need to get a new diet. I need to join a gym. I need to get a trainer. It's always like I need to get a coach. It's always tactical, right? But what he says is that thinking strategically is more of what needs to precede the tactical questions. Does that make sense? So before, jumping into a new diet and a trainer, because all those things are correct, but if you really don't know what you're dealing with, right, then you're not going to have long-term success. And he goes on to say, the machine that gets built, okay, diets, a new quote-unquote lifestyle, New Year's resolution of going to the gym or whatnot, or maybe you're relating to this in terms of your business or your relationship, but the machine that gets built to solve the perceived problem, which is really just the symptom, is a machine for the problem that isn't, okay? It's for a problem that isn't actually valid. When machines are constructed and deployed that do not address the root problem or obstacle, resources are wasted, and there's zero sustainable forward progress toward the desired outcome. This one sentence explains why most plans do not succeed, okay? The machine that gets built addresses only the obvious symptom and does not solve the core problem or overcome the obstacle that is in the way. Does that make sense? So that's why so many quote-unquote diets fail, because a diet, let's say in terms of your health, is just a problem-based solution. You're just looking to solve the problem that isn't. The problem, like, yeah, I'm overweight, so I should go on a diet. When in reality, a lot of times we're overeating because we're stressed. We're overeating because we haven't made a plan or created an identity even around what it means to be a healthy individual. Does that make sense? So focusing on getting more, more eyeballs, more traffic, more customers, better employees, all those things for your business is oftentimes not the solution either, because if the wheels are loose, putting, jet fuel into your engine to make it go faster is only going to make you, eventually crash and burn at a faster rate, right? So the risks are even higher. He goes on to say, bad questions beget wrong answers. So tactical questions always produce tactical answers. You need to focus on more strategic questions. Inadequate sales is a symptom of something else. Without clarity on your business core underlying problem, let me say that again. Without clarity on your business core underlying problem, you would be tempted to snag the closest consultant and buy her recommended solution or machine to improve sales. Confusing activity with productivity is a major saboteur of business success. And I would say the same holds true for people with their health, people with their relationships. To confuse activity, right, with actual productivity is a major saboteur of business success or health success. Just because you're sweating doesn't mean it's actually working. Ain't that the truth? So many people at the gym actually physically sweating, doing something that is not actually getting them to the end result. That's the challenge. He said the 3 most fundamental questions to ask to help get clarity about the root problem or obstacles are, number 1, what are the possible reasons I'm not noticing the symptom? Number 2, what isn't happening that, if it did happen, would cause the perceived gap or symptom to either narrow or disappear? And lastly, what is happening that, if it stopped happening, would cause the perceived gap or symptoms to narrow or disappear? With a lot of my clients over the last decade, a lot of times I'll ask them, what needs to stop happening? What do you need to start doing? And what are you doing that you need to continue doing, right? So what's happening that is not serving you that you need to stop? What type of pattern or behavior or habit needs to stop happening? What's a good new habit that you'd like to start doing that's going to really help you move you to your goal? And what are you doing that actually is giving you good results and is healthy and that sort of thing in terms of your business, your health, that you need to continue doing? Those are some good ideas. Those 3 questions go to the heart core of discipline number 1. Find the unasked question. If you misdiagnose or mislabel the problem, people gravitate towards building a solution or machine for the symptoms for a problem that just isn't. So I love that whole idea. And that is the core challenge with most people who struggle with getting like lasting results in their health, in their relationships, in their career, So I've been through that myself in building now multiple businesses. I've had my fair share of struggles through relationships. My health has gone up and down, but it's all about really focusing on what is the real problem at hand and not misdiagnosing that. So I hope this has been helpful. Obviously, feel free to reach out or make comments if you have any questions or if anything that I said was not clear or you'd like maybe some more ideas on. I would love for you to subscribe down below to my YouTube channel. And again, if you'd love to connect with me, make a comment, you can always reach out to me at johnnyking.com. And till then, hope you have a wonderful day and I hope this was helpful. Take care.